Respected teacher MD Mustafa Aziz, Science Sir, Lecturer, Department of Port and Shipping Management, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Maritime University, and my best mates. Assalamu alaikum. Myself, Captain Rokibul Islam, roll 23213031. I welcome you all to my presentation on the topic various maritime affairs, incidents and accidents. Before starting my presentation, I would like to thank our respected teacher, MD Mustafa Aziz Science Sir, for giving me the chance to deliver this presentation. In my presentation, I will try to explain actions to be taken once an accident or incidents occur. Requirement and importance of accidents or incident investigation. Requirement and importance of root cause analysis, safety aspect, and loss from accident or incident. And finally, we will discuss few accidents or incident cases. Accidents don't happen. They are the result of a chain of unsafe acts, near misses, and incidents. Once an accident occurs, the first action is to take corrective action to reduce the adverse impacts. The second action is to put into force procedures to prevent the reoccurrence of the same. In order to take adequate preventive action, it is necessary to find out the actual reasons behind the accidents. Accidents happen due to a variety of reasons. If unsafe acts are not rectified immediately, the chances of accidents increase manifold. Thus, unsafe acts and near misses need to be carefully analyzed in order to apply the lessons learned and thereby prevent accidents. Accident investigation assumes importance in every case. The objective of every incident investigation is to find out the root cause behind the incident. The root cause may be totally different from the obvious or apparent causes. An incident is inadequately controlled event. A full and thorough investigation of accidents, near misses, and non-conformities can ensure that suitable controls are developed and recurrence is prevented. In simple terms, effective investigations are the result of a well-managed investigation process. An effective investigator should throw valuable light on the following: describe the incident, determine the real causes, evaluate the loss potential, develop controls to prevent repeat, demonstrate management concern and commitment, contribute to improve safety culture, not assign blame or guilt. Safety. Freedom from unacceptable risks. Thus, if an organization or an individual wants to be relieved of unacceptable risks, safe operations is the only answer. This is particularly so in the case of ships, since a lack of safety will directly lead to an increase in the risk factor on board. On the other hand, controlling of the risks is possible through safe practices. Loss. The result of an accident is loss. As reflected in our accident definition, the most obvious losses are harm to people, property, process, or environment. Implied and important related losses are performance interruption and profit reduction. So, there are losses involving people, property, process, and ultimately the profit. Root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is a structured process that uncovers the physical, human, and latent causes of any undesirable event in the workplace. It can be single or multidisciplinary cases, small or large cases. A root cause analysis will disclose why the incident, failure, or breakdown occurred, how future failures can be eliminated, changes to procedures and operations, training of staff, design modifications, verification that new or rebuilt equipment is free of defects, repair and reinstallation is as per standards, identification of any factor adversely affecting service life. Now I will highlight 5 known cases of accidents or incidents. Case number 1. Detected leakage in hydraulic high pressure pipeline during discharging cargo. Description: during discharging cargo at Magellan Chile, detected leakage in hydraulic high pressure pipeline. Stopped cargo operations immediately, raised emergency alarm, emergency procedures initiated, informed terminal, DPA, local agent, charterer, etc. After preliminary investigation, it was found that required hot work for repairing pipeline at engine room workshop. Master applied Harbor Master for hot work approval while vessel at berth and at loaded condition. After obtaining approval from Harbor Master, removed the pipe from place and brought at engine room workshop and repaired, complying all hot work safety procedures including detailed risk assessment and hot work permits. And after repairing the pipe, fitted back in position, it was taken 16 hours for formalities and repair, and during the period, vessel became off-hire. Root cause: aging of high-pressure pipeline. Preventive action: all high-pressure pipelines must be closely examined for condition monitoring. Any suspected pipelines must be repaired at sea in designated hot work place, and also spare pipelines must be available on board. Case number 2. The failure of a condemned fire extinguisher during decommissioning resulting in the loss of a life. Description: the incident occurred when the person was discharging a corroded handheld cartridge type dry chemical powder fire extinguisher, which had been condemned during an annual third-party inspection. Officers from the deck department were preparing to dispose of several condemned fire extinguishers to garbage facilities ashore. Preparations of decommissioning the portable foam extinguishers involved removing the CO2 charged cartridge. Having successfully removed the cartridge from one extinguisher, the officers could not remove the valve assembly from the second. One took the decision to discharge the extinguisher into some waste racks. During the discharge, the body of the extinguisher ruptured at the base and struck the officer in the chest. Despite immediate first aid from the crew, he died from this. Why it happened? The fire extinguisher failed following the release of carbon dioxide when the handle was depressed, causing the base to rupture due to severe corrosion, propelling it upwards. The officer deviated from the requirements of the safety management system, instructions given by the chief officer, and failed to appreciate the dangers associated with condemned pressurized systems or the safety measures to be considered when handling them. Learning: servicing by shoreside personnel may not be sufficient to control risk. Crew should inspect each extinguisher for signs of corrosion, and where concerns arise, then these are to be raised and discussed with the safety officer on board. Pressure vessel failure can be catastrophic. Crew should be made aware of the potentially fatal risk associated with handling compromised pressure vessels and systems. Where possible, decommissioning and disposal of fire extinguishing should be conducted by suitably qualified contractors. When discharging any fire extinguisher, the manufacturer's guidelines on the correct operation should be followed. Where guidelines have not been provided, crew are advised to place the extinguisher on the deck away from the body when operating the. Case number 3. A Bahamas flag tanker ran aground on the north side coral reef during her approach into the Diego Suarez Bay, Madagascar. Description. During her approach into the Diego Suarez Bay to pick up the pilot, the vessel ran aground on the north side coral reef. The vessel had ingress of water in her water ballast tank, 1 starboard and 2 starboard. There was no oil pollution and no injuries. Emergency response plan was initiated by the vessel. DPA and agents were informed. Office initiated emergency response plan to assist vessel. Vessel followed contingency plan. Senior Marine Manager, class surveyor, PNI and hull and machinery representative proceeded to the port immediately and boarded the vessel on date 19 April 2014. They carried out thorough checks and ascertained that the ship's bottom had breached in way of 1 starboard and 2 starboard water ballast tank. The company engaged Sahel Salvage to carry out lightering operations to replenish the vessel and carry out temporary repairs in close liaison with class and the port authorities, the local government. The vessel condition was closely monitored to ensure no damage to the environment and safety of the vessel. The company chartered a suitable size vessel to lighter the vessel. Causes. The grounding was attributed to human errors and a lack of situational awareness. Long-term corrective and preventive actions. Company SMS with respect to navigation procedures is to be thoroughly reviewed. It is recommended to incorporate maneuvering guidelines when entering port from open sea. The deck officers are to be briefed about the changes in the company SMS. It is recommended to carry out navigation audit on fleet vessels by an external consultant to note following: implementation of good navigational practices, to assess the effectiveness of the breach team management on board, to assess master's ship handling and maneuvering capability. Case number 4. Oil tanker was hit by sand carrier MV Ocean Line about 2.4 nautical miles from Tanjung Bras port. Description of the accident. Sand carrier MV Ocean Line was reportedly sailing from the Kotha Laksamana land reclamation area towards the sand extraction location at the Malacca port limit before colliding into the port side of the tanker, which was anchored at the port. Dresser Ocean Line was sailing at full speed and struck an anchored tanker with moored alongside supply vessel. The tanker suffered port-side hull breach above waterline and apparently some damage on cargo deck. Several hours later, the ships were separated. Tanker remained in the same position. Dredger moved to port area and brought at anchor. Fortunately, there had been no casualties or oil spills, but both vessels had been structurally damaged in the incident. Root cause and investigation details. Nobody was on the bridge in Dredger vessel. Witnesses had raised doubts as to whether the incident was deliberate akin to a road race incident. The case was investigated to ascertain if the collision was triggered by a lack of space for vessels to anchor in the congested port area. The outcome of the probe into the incident guided further action to outline maritime zones in order to ensure the safety of fishermen and marine traffic to nearby ports. The area where the collision occurred is known for being congested as the presence of numerous larger vessels often limit the space available for fishermen to ply their trade. Anyhow, the owner of MB Ocean Line came in contact with tanker vessels manager and taken all responsibilities for the accident, stopped all types of investigations and mutually agreed for compensations to tanker. Case number 5. A crew member fatality inside the cargo tank on board chemical tanker while at the port of Maptaput, Thailand. Description of incident. During the investigation, it was found that the crew member entered in cargo tank which carried cargo acronitril, which is highly flammable and toxic, and the cargo tank was inerted before loading cargo. After discharging cargo, cold seawater washing only carried out for the tank, but no other steps were taken to complete tank readiness for main entry, such as gas filling or ventilation. Also, no communication was made with chief officer or bridge for monitoring men entering in cargo tank, and even no enclosed space entry permit was complied with. Moreover, the crew member entered it wrong tank, and due to oxygen deficient and intoxication atmosphere, he died inside cargo tank. Root cause: overconfidence, lack of communication, and lack of complying safety procedures. Learning: to avoid such incident and to stay safe on board a ship, need to comply with the motto think, act, be safe, and safety first. This is end of my presentation, and thank you.